Hello and welcome to my channel, Not Another Knitter, because there are oh so many knitting podcasts out there. My name is Liz, and today we're going to be talking about yarn organization. Let's get into it. I know there has been a million yarn organization videos out there, but I think they're fun, and I think they're great to help motivate you to get it done. This has been a long time coming, organizing my yarn stash. I am in production, so we are very organized people, but I am not very organized at home. I'm quite the opposite. So my show is ending soon, and I just got really bored because it's the tail end of things, and so there's a little bit of downtime. So then I started playing in Notion, and I was like, what if I put my yarn stash in here? And so I decided to put my yarn stash in there. So we're going to be going through my Notion pages, and I'm going to be sharing that. So yeah, we're going to go through Ravelry. We're going to take all of that and put it into Notion, and then we're also going to find all my lovely little hiding spots for my yarn, and write all that information down. And yeah, so that's what we're going to do. I also think right now is the perfect time for yarn organization if you haven't done it yet, because it's winter and I feel like it's a fun little cozy activity, because a lot of people I see who do like yarn organization videos, they're trying to get it all in one day, and maybe they got it done in one day, or maybe it's like over multiple days, but I'm like, you know what, let's take our time, let's go slow, let's enjoy the process, you know. So I'm gonna dedicate like a couple times, maybe like 20-30 minutes a week to taking out some yarn, writing it all down, and getting it into Notion, and taking some pictures, and putting it up there. So yeah, we're gonna do this fun little cozy activity, and we'll see how that goes. We'll see the next time I see you. Okay. Oh, and I want to thank anybody who's been viewing my videos, especially because the audio has not been good, and I've been trying so hard to fix that. I still want to make videos because I really enjoy it. I've only made 2, but I really enjoy it so far, and I think it's fun, and I really want to connect more to the community. So thank you for getting through this bad audio phase, and hopefully this mic helps. I'm also planning to hopefully get a different mic, but we'll see. Apparently it's an issue with the sound with Google Pixel Pro video, is that the sound is not that great when it comes to recording videos. I'm like, great, and I don't really want to buy a camera, so there's that. Anyways, we're gonna go grab some yarn, we're gonna go organize it, we're gonna get a cup of tea. So yeah, maybe organize your yarn with me. Okay, so today's the next day, and it's time to organize some yarn. I just got back from work, relaxed, ate some dinner, and did some chores, so now it's time to, wind down, organize some yarn, and watch a show. So I'll see you guys later. Okay, it's 10:30 and I'm pretty tired and I need to go to work tomorrow, so we're gonna call it a night. This is everything I've already documented on my notepad, and this is everything that needs to be documented. My stash is like fairly organized in the sense of like I have them separated in like fingering, DK, and stuff in boxes in a cabinet. So this was more of just writing down what I have so I have easier access to it instead of having to pull it all out every single time I want to look through it. So yeah. I'm also going to be taking pictures another day of all the yarn as well, so I can add pictures as well to look at it visually in my notions. So, but today, for the next couple of days, I'm just going to be focusing on writing all the information down first, just because I do not have time in the mornings, and just because I don't have time in the morning, and there's not any good lighting in the evening, so I rather do this. I'll take all the pictures on the weekend. So yeah, well, I'll see you tomorrow and we'll finish the rest of this. Bye. Okay, and we're done. Apologies on the quality of the sound. I had to switch mics because I want to use like two hands so I can point because I'm an expressive person. Anyways, okay. So finally got all of this written down so I can put it into my Notion. It looks like a lot. But again, this is like 5 years worth of collecting, and also a lot of this yarn, a decent amount was given to me, as I said earlier. So anyways, here we have all my little mohair stash, my bulky weights. Those ones were all gifted to me. I don't usually buy bulky weight. I'm actually honestly not sure what to do with this. I love the color. It's very beautiful, but not sure what to do with it. If you guys have any ideas, love suggestions. This is my like worsted weight pile. My sport weight is very tiny. I do not use sport weight very often. My insane amount of fingering and sock weight. I don't know why I have so much. I think it's because I like to collect also from when I travel. Like I'm like, oh, one skein of sock weight, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with this, girl? What am I gonna do with this? And then some of them are also just left over from other projects. Like this is left over from my Halloween socks. This is left over from a cardigan I use. So I have to put those in like a leftovers bin and figure out what I want to do with those. This is my prized possession, this cone. I've always wanted a cone, and I splurged on this at the Pearl Soho warehouse sale. This Pearl Soho warehouse sale. Because I love that cones has a lot more, because I am plus size, and it's hard. It's annoying to have to buy 50 of these guys. So, and then this is my DK weight. Also kind of on the larger side than most of it. But yeah, again, some of this was gifted. Some of this is just 5 years worth of, collecting. I am a very slow knitter, so I think this has been really helpful because I'm going to be, as I've mentioned, how many times can I mention I'm going to be unemployed? I'm going to be unemployed, so this will definitely last me through my unemployment. So yeah, that's where we're at. Now it's time to organize it, figure out how I want to organize it, add the rest of the notes into Notion, and then tomorrow morning I will take pictures because I want good quality pictures so I can know what colors I have. So yeah, and that is also Brad. Say hi, Brad. Say bye. He's an iPad baby. As you could tell, he was enjoying watching TV. Bye. Hello, we are now in my studio. As in my dining room, because I work from home and my partner works from home, and we both have computers and desktops, and yeah, so I don't have a dining room. It's my craft room and my office. So welcome to my studio. Today we're going over Notion. This is actually like my third time filming this because I realized I was like, my mouse was going all over the place, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is probably gonna bug a bunch of people. So I'm going to slow down. We're gonna slow down that mouse. So yeah. Okay. So here we are. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. We wanted to go over my Notion, and yeah, so how I'm using the yarn storage. My Notion is still pretty still in its basic form right now because this is something very new I want to do. So I revamped an old Notion to work with yarn storage. So here we go. Here I plan to put in all my project dates, YouTube video stuff. I like a little clock, remind myself, like, get to it. Next down here we have current projects, my yarn stash, yarn used, and mood boards. And I also added just a little memo. I don't know, it's always fun to have a little notes area. And artwork. I love Beatrix Potter. She's like one of my top illustrators. So whimsical, so fun. But yeah, let's go over to current projects. Here is just the overview of my dashboard. I made sure to add quick links so I can get to and from. Maybe I'm going too slow now. I want to be able to go to and from each project page pretty quickly instead of having to go back and forth. But yeah, so over here is my actual project pages. I want to do my make 9 here of like the lists here of what I want to work on. Then my in progress stuff, I just added my cardigan I'm working on. There currently is nothing in this area just because I haven't populated it yet. I do have all this information in my personal journal, which I'm still gonna have a physical journal, but yeah, I would like to keep it here so then I can copy and paste it into Ravelry because I still want to put my knitting notes into Ravelry because I think it could be helpful for some people to see if maybe I do something that's different than what the pattern is, and it might help somebody else, especially because, like I said, plus sized, I tend to try and edit the patterns a little bit to help with my size. So there is that. And then just to feel good, a completed page to see what I've completed throughout the years. And then I have my pattern list. Here in a table tab, I have everything important to me personally. I have whether or not it's in my library or if I want to make it. I have it as a work in progress. I have the pattern name, the website I get it from, the yarn type that is needed. So do I need a DK, a fingering, lace plus fingering? Size. This one is really important to me, is size and yardage for the project. Most important because I want to be able to just look it up, get it, and not have to like add it up in my head. I just want it ready to go. I also added the pattern maker just to remember who they are. And then whether or not this project is finished. Right here, the cutie collar, I finished this. So yeah, that's kind of just the overview of that. And then pattern books. I want to start tracking my pattern books because I kind of just forget they exist sometimes because I use my phone more than anything. So yeah, I added one here kind of just as an example. The title, author, this one is a magazine, so it's kind of like a publisher, like Pom Pom magazine. And then description of what kind of patterns are included in there, and probably a picture of the book too, so I can kind of be reminded like what's the style and tone of that magazine. I also have books and pamphlets, like vintage pamphlets I get. There's a store near me that's a reuse store, and they have tons of vintage patterns sometimes, and it's been really great to see. So yeah, that's kind of my overview of my pattern list, and just current projects, patterns, and such. And yeah, so let's go to the yarn stash. This is what we were waiting for. And this is what the video is about. Again, keep those quick links, and then the actual stash. I have two versions of it. I have a table view, and then we go down and we have a gallery view. I'm going to put in the pictures, but I've been working a lot lately, so It's really hard to do it when it's nighttime. I want to have at least a decent, oh my gosh. I just did an OT tonight too, so I'm very tired. I want to see at least a decent color match to what is on the camera versus what's in real life. So I want to do it during the day when it has good lighting. But back to this bad boy. I added a lot of tabs. I have if it's in use. So the first example I have here is my cascade and drops for the cardigan I'm working on. I put that in first. I have the brand, yarn name, whether it's 220 fingering, swish, Woolstock light, squishy, weight, fingering lace, DK, fiber content, yards, meters, grams, quantity, colorway, basic color. I had to add basic color because the colorways sometimes are not helpful at all. They're cute, I love them, but it makes no sense. Olivia, I don't know what you are. Not Dusty Rose. Are you Dusty? Are you Rose? What are you? So yeah. And it's gray. It's like a grayish color. So then I added the basic color because we are going to have pictures of them. So, but it could be fun to have it organized by color when I bring it up, when I can filter it out. Because I could look through like, oh, I want green, but I have like 5 different shades of green. So then we have our price because I also want to, sorry, it's not like the most intuitive with scrolling. So again, back, price. So I added the price because I want to also track for my own finances, the date I bought it, what store I'm going to, so I can kind of gauge of like, oh, this store is pretty expensive or this store has good prices. So, and then also I need to track for my own budget because I'm going to be unemployed. And date bought, I want to know how much yarn I'm buying in a year. And then we have files and media. I want to populate, well actually I don't know if I'm going to populate it here. This is just for the yarn because the way I was able to get my Notion to work is I'm linking this to this so that whenever I make a new page right here, boop, a new page appears down here, so I don't have to like write everything all over again down here. Very useful, very nice. So I can put all this information up here and it'll populate down here. Love it. So yeah, we'll put pictures here. Then I also included the ply notes because some of these are not complete skeins, or some of them are like, for example here, this is from Blue Sky Fibers. It is 2 balls of yarn, but I did use some of that yarn for another project. So technically I have 1 skein and like a little bit of a cake left. And so in my note, I wanted to make sure that I go by grams and not 2 full balls of yardage, or else I wouldn't know. And then I also have the completed grams here of how much those would equal to. And then, yeah, so like I said, this is where my totals are because I want to be able to be like, oh, this is the actual total instead of having to try to do all that math in my head. And then also, because I can't be type A enough, I'm going to add location. I do not have like a beautiful cabinet to put all my yarn in. I have a 1-bedroom. We work from home. It gets pretty, as you can tell, cluttered here. So I have multiple places where I keep yarn, so it's not just overflowing. And so I want to know where those yarns are located once I decide where I'm putting all of that stuff. So yeah, that's kind of like the overview. Then I got my thumbnails. This was just a test. But yeah, so I can also see visually what I have. I know you're like, well, you can do all of this in Ravelry. I know I can do it in Ravelry, but I don't really update in Ravelry that often. And I kind of like adding these little extra little tidbits, like location of my house. And, you know, I also want to be able to have a little more leeway with the filtering system, and then sometimes like it doesn't always, Ravelry is kind of slow, even though I'm sure Notion could be slow because the app could be slow, but it does have an app, Notion, as well. So I also just think it's nice to have it a little more accessible in a table view like this. I think you can do a table view in Ravelry as well, but I don't know. There's something about this that feels right, and I want to try out. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. And then I also want to add another section for yarn used. This is fairly new because I haven't finished a project and I just started using Notion. So I want to track how much yarn I'm using through the year. I also kind of like a little archive section of yarn, and then also gonna have a mood board. This is also very under construction. Like I said, I use this in college, and so all of this is still college stuff, like cover letters, resumes, portfolio. Well, I was an art major too, so I had like anatomy refresher. But anyways, this is gonna be changed to mood boards, designs I like. I might even play with color palettes of what I have in my stash and put it in here for inspiration. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully I didn't move the mouse around too much this time. I do not want to record this again. I'm still working on cleaning up my stash. It's all on my couch. It's everywhere. So I'm going to get back to that. And we'll see you later. Bye. Welcome back. We're back on the couch. I have put all of my yarn into bins, bags, and they're ready to go into storage. I've written down everything. I've gotten pictures of everything, so we are organized. One of my other goals was to not buy anything new for storage wise, so this isn't the most aesthetic, storage, but it gets the job done. I have a small apartment, we do what we do. What else? One of the big takeaways from this video is organize your yarn stash. I haven't done it in quite a while, and I had so much yarn that I was like, whoa, I have some ideas for this now. So I'm very excited to be shopping my stash. I also learned about a lot of my old shopping habits and my new shopping habits. You can see a big difference of the more recent purchases versus my old purchases. There we go. My old purchases, acquisitions, whatever. My old purchases, you can kind of see like a big difference. I have this idea in my head that like when I go to like a yarn crawl or the fiber fairs, that I want to support businesses, and I don't have a lot of funds, so I end up buying more single skeins than sweater quantities, but I'm finding out I don't really have a lot of room I don't do a lot with those single skeins. I'm gonna make some socks, but I can only make so many socks and I only have room for so many socks. So that's something I really want to, sorry, I got distracted. That's something I really want to hold back on, is not buying as many single skeins and focusing more on full garments, sweater quantities worth of clothing instead. But yeah, so big learning experience. Organize your yarn so you know what you have, and that's all I have to say about that. So thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.